You waiting for me?
Yes, sir.
We're talking quarterback draft strategy. We like to do these videos. We just go through each position and just talk about kind of what we've noticed on the landscape in terms of ADPs for this year. It doesn't change a ton from year to year, really with any position, but there are things that we notice in terms of just a little bit of information we bring into the draft just based on ADPs and where we think the value is and all that good stuff.
But before we get into that, make sure you check out all of our rankings, our other videos. Please, see that over there, the little like button? Just click it real quick. It helps so much with stupid YouTube analytics. I don't think they're going to even notice us for me to say that to like bring us down or something.
I'm sure
so even more.
They'll give us a pass.
Hit that. I think they're going to give us a pass. They will.
So last
Donnie
year,
from YouTube.
Last year it was Mahomes or wait. This year it's Mahomes, Jackson, or wait. And that's really where you're at. I mean, it depends on your league, depends on your settings. I mean, you got to look at, factoring in all the different, how much you get for passing touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, and all that stuff, and passing yards. But Mahomes and Jackson are your 1A, 1B. You could really make an argument for either one to go first. They're both going inside the top 20 picks right now, which is kind of crazy to have two guys to do that. Normally it's just kind of one mixed in and then the rest of the guys sprinkle in later.
Only since the Peyton Brady heydays.
Yeah, it might be.
I think that's probably the last time.
Might be, but I have honestly no problem paying up for a tight end or for a quarterback. I still want to get a running back in my first two picks, but if you can get a solid running back and then you want to lock up your quarterback on the way back in the second round in a QB-heavy point-scoring league, I got no problem with that.
All right, as we're looking at the next group of guys, all the way from pick about 50 to 80, you have 2, 4, 6, 8 different quarterbacks. So let's think about this. Let's say you're in a 10-team league with one quarterback. 2 for Dustin, 8 for me, there's 10. So you can wait, but obviously they're ranked at different positions. So really as we look at it, a guy like Aaron Rodgers going around pick 75, we think that's great value. So you can go ahead and take him right around that pick. If you really like Watson or Allen, 50, 65, whatever it might be, again, you can do that. But what I'm saying is, if you don't take one of the first two, then what I recommend is don't be worried about the run of QB that happens at some point later in the draft. I would rather not start the run. I would rather let the run go, take some running backs and receivers during that, and then I take another one of these guys like a Roger or Josh Allen, a Drew Brees, Matt Ryan going at pick 80. Like, that's the way I kind of look at this, so that's what I'm thinking.
And there's a ton of value at quarterback. Just like the last few years, it just as more and more teams just get a little bit more pass heavy. It's just there is so much value even after the top 10. So I mean, again, like we said, it's Mahomes and Jackson or just wait. And kind of like what Brent said, just wait for someone to fall in your lap at a good value. Because almost every year, too, there's a guy ranked between 11 and 20th in terms of quarterbacks that ends up being a top 5 quarterback. I mean, you look at Lamar Jackson last year, which we called pretty well, actually, and Josh Allen. We liked Josh Allen coming into the year. He's another guy that was,
So who are some guys that could do that, Dustin?
Well, I mean, this year, maybe some Ryan Tannehill.
No way. Maybe that guy?
I mean, Stafford, when you look at his per-game stats, if he can stay healthy, he could get up there.
Good.
Big Ben coming back. We like Mayfield. I mean, there's no reason to reach. I mean, there will be plenty of options, even in the later rounds, even in 14-team, 1 QB leagues. There will be value galore all the way down. Lots of guys with upside. So, hasn't really changed a ton.
One thing to note real quick that I hate, expert mock drafts. I hate the super D value of quarterbacks. So if you look at a mock draft, an expert mock draft, just know that's not going to happen in your home league. They're not going to all. Mahomes was not going to go in the 2nd or 3rd round or the 3rd or 4th round. It might happen in like an expert draft. And Aaron Rodgers is going to go in the 12th round. That's not going to happen in your home league. So
well, and I get the argument is the difference between the 3rd quarterback and the 12th quarterback point wise is way different.
That's why they expert drafts.
That's why they do it.
But it's not real.
The quarterback is the most predictable position in terms of points, and they get you the most points, and they're the least injury prone. So if you can lock up one of the top 5 guys at a good value, again, no issue with that.
No.
I like locking them up and not having to play the quarterback game and pickups.
And that's why they do that in the expert draft, right? They'll do the matchups. It's like, how much are you doing that?
Yeah, just give me some Mahomes. They'll do Dalvin Cook Mahomes. I'm
still,
ready to go for the third
the
round.
Mahomes year 2 years ago, something like 80% of those teams made the playoffs and like 34 won the championship. Like,
Yeah, but you're kind of the argument there is they waited and took Mahomes.
that's true.
And
the
Jackson,
rest of the teams,
they
that's
waited
actually what
and
I
took.
did. I picked the Mahomes off the
They
wire.
waited. So
So never mind.
there's
Scratch that from the
arguments.
record.
There's arguments either way, but it's how good do you feel about hitting that lottery ticket in the later rounds or on the wire, or do you want to just lock a guy up and be done?
Or do you want
So
Russell Wilson at pick 55?
you could argue all day what's the best strategy. You can win with all of them, but just don't reach. That's what we're saying on QBs.
Don't reach. Wait for them to fall into your lap.
Check out all of our tiers and rankings on the site. Get our cheat sheet. Give us some comments, thumbs up, likes, and shares. Maybe some shares.
Share is crazy talk. At least give me a like.
And tell me how much you love Ryan Tannehill. And
Scale
how-
1 to 10. Oh, what are the odds of him winning? What did you bet? MVP and Offensive Player of the Year?
Well, I bet them both just to hedge. I don't think he'll win.
To hedge.
But
You don't think he'll get both. Just get one of those locked in.
just get one.
What do you think the odds should be for him to win MVP? Don't Google.
Well, yeah. Well,
Not you.
I
I
don't
want
want to
you.
spoil it.
I want the comp.
But I put $200 on it. No big deal.
No big deal. No big deal.
I put my money where my mouth is.
That is true.
Come on, Ryan.